All right, Julia and Lee, we appreciate it. And I'm sure you guys are going to have a lot more jokes for the rest of the campaign here. They just keep coming.
What? Can I just ask a question?
Sure.
What is Fox News? It's just a parade of propaganda, isn't it? It's just a festival of ignorance. What? Why, a million people are dead in Iraq. Come on, this is ridiculous. What's the point of this? This is insane.
Well, I love
people
Fox
at home,
News.
go outside. Go hug your children.
You should be more.
Well, Fox
you should
News
be
will
more
be
worried.
Love your family, you know.
And you get all the news.
You get
all the news you can at Fox News. All right, thanks.
And
guys.
I think, okay.
All right, that's it. All right, we're also talking about Captain Kirk this morning. And hey, because it's Saturday morning, we're having some fun. Greg, you've got the cushiest job in the world.
Yeah, look who just beamed aboard right now. The ladies from the Starship Enterprise.
Listen, here's the brilliance of
they report fairly.
Here's the brilliance of Fox News. What you have been able to do, you and Dr. Ailes, have been able to mainstream conservative talk radio. And the way that you did it, you can't shoot conservative talk radio directly into the veins of the American people. Their heads would blow up. You can only have that in taxis and, you know, various places in people's houses. So what you've done is you've taken a cyclonic, narrative-driven news organization, you know, a media arm of a political party, of a political wing, and you've sprinkled it. You've cut it with a little bit of object, a little bit of Chris Wallace asking a tough question, a little bit. The journey begins in the morning. It begins with the
Fox
innocent,
and Friends.
with the wide-eyed innocence of Fox and Friends. You know, Obama has czars. I Googled czar. Did you know that's a Russian word for a Russian leader? Or they'll go through, these children in second grade are singing the praises of Obama. Did you know they sing the praises of their leader in North Korea? And then when the hard news comes on, they go, some people are concerned that they're indoctrinating children.
So you think that the Fox News channel is set up solely to provide aid and comfort to the Republican Party and the conservative movement?
That's right.
Nothing else.
And to make some money. It's all done with this kind of very subtle propaganda.
So
it's all done in questions. I'm not saying Obama's a Stalinist. I'm just putting up Stalin's picture behind me. Please. I know what this is. This is, I come from Jersey. It's the same thing. I'm not saying your mother's a whore. I'm just saying she has sex for money. Fox News used to be all about, you don't criticize a president during wartime.
I'm not somebody you can come and just spew all
Don't tell me I wouldn't send my kids.
Loud doesn't mean
my
right.
nephew.
You are part of a loud group of people who want to prove they're tough and send other people's kids to war.
This is
so that you can be tough
terror.
and point at people in a kind of cowardly way.
It's unacceptable. It's treasonous. It aid and comfort to the enemy. All of a sudden, for some reason, you can run out there and say Barack Obama is destroying the fabric of this country. But here's what Fox has done. Their cyclonic perpetual emotion machine that is a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week. They've taken reasonable concerns about this president and this economy and turned it into a full-fledged panic attack about the next coming of Chairman Mao.
Real quick, let me see if I can ask the room a question. This is sort of what it really boils down to. Everybody raise your hand. Who's going to vote for McCain? Who's going to vote for Obama? All right, see, it's split. And that's why northeastern Pennsylvania is definitely a battleground area and a battleground state.
Did you hear that? They laughed at him. In the room, they laughed at him.
Here's what I believe. Fox News is the most passionate and sells the clearest narrative of any news organization, if that's how are you still referring to it in that manner?
Yeah, it's a news organization. Right, that's how the poll referred to it.
No, I'm sure
nobody had any problem. Only you.
Well,
only you.
I think Fox, in and of yourself, say you're not a news organization all day.
Oh, come on over to my Park Avenue suite. It's wonderful. We can talk about all the things that the little people are talking about. You know, like Brie and Volvos.
Isn't it now your news? What was it? Your news from 9 to 11, and then your opinion, and then your news again.
News
Except on the Jewish holidays,
exactly.
Then you're not. And then on alternate parking days, your news. But then Christmas, you're not. And then What is
Stewart,
it?
Stewart.
During Ramadan, your news?
Stewart.
Am I allowed to say Ramadan on
You
Fox?
are. You can say Ramadan.
Are you sure?
That's your opinion, and you're entitled to it.
Thank you.
Okay. There's a lot of people that think that you are, and fill in the blank, ladies and gentlemen, at your pleasure. However,
I'm going to go with Pinhead.
You.
Pinhead? Is Pinhead right?
Right now, those who claim no religion make up 15% of the country and are the fastest growing religious group.
All I hear on your network is, this guy's, it's tyranny and socialism.
That's what he believes.
So, how is Barack Obama a socialist? As far as I can see, the majority of the billions of dollars he's given to banks.
Look.
So if he's a socialist, he's dyslexic. You have become in some ways the voice of sanity here, which is like being the thinnest kid at fat camp. So let's just get that straight.
The latest NBC News Wall Street Journal poll asked respondents whether they believed 4 big myths about healthcare reform. And then they asked those same respondents what their usual source of news is. The poll found that the gap between Fox viewers and MSNBC and CNN viewers who wrongly believe healthcare reform will give coverage to illegal immigrants, it's a 31-point gap. The gap between Fox viewers and MSNBC and CNN viewers who wrongly believe reform will lead to a government takeover of healthcare, that gap is 40 points. The gap between Fox viewers and MSNBC and CNN viewers who wrongly believe that healthcare reform assures taxpayer-funded abortions, it's a 29-point gap. The gap between Fox viewers and MSNBC and CNN viewers who wrongly believe that the government will decide when to stop providing medical care to the elderly, it's a 45-point gap. In other words, we're trying to have a debate in this country between two groups of people who have two totally different sets of facts.
I tell you, my mind doesn't work that way. I got this real moron thing I do. It's called thinking. And I'm not a very good American because I like to form my own opinions. I don't just roll over when I'm told to. And I don't take very seriously the media or the press in this country, who in the case of the Persian Gulf War were nothing more than unpaid employees of the Department of Defense, and who most of the time function as kind of an unofficial public relations agency for the United States government. So I don't listen to them, I don't really believe in my country, and I gotta tell you folks, I don't get all choked up about yellow ribbons and American flags. I consider them to be symbols, and I leave symbols to the symbol-minded.
I mean, I just really wonder, during the last war, you know, what business did it have on the news sets to have the American flag flying in the background? I mean, it was like the news media covered the Iraq War, at least at the beginning of it, almost as like it was a football game.
The story goes like this. We know that the universe began 13.7 billion years ago in an immensely hot, dense state, much smaller than a single atom. It began to expand. About 300 million years, then light began to travel through the universe. It was big enough to be transparent to light, and that's what we see in the cosmic microwave background. After about 400 million years, the first stars formed, and that hydrogen, that helium, then began to cook into the heavier elements. So the elements of life, carbon and oxygen and iron, all the elements that we need to make us up were cooked in those first generation of stars, which then run out of fuel, exploded through those elements back into the universe. They then recollapsed into another generation of stars and planets. And on some of those planets, the oxygen, which had been created in that first generation of stars, could fuse with hydrogen to form water, liquid water on the surface. As one of my great heroes, Carl Sagan, said, these are the things And actually, not only these, but I was looking around, these are the things, right? Saturn V rockets and Sputnik and DNA and literature and science. These are the things that hydrogen atoms do when given 13.7 billion years. Absolutely remarkable. And the laws of physics, right? So the right laws of physics, they're beautifully balanced. If the weak force had been a little bit different, then carbon and oxygen wouldn't be stable inside the hearts of stars, and there would be none of that in the universe. And I think that's a wonderful and significant story. 50 years ago, I couldn't have told that story because we didn't know it. It makes me really feel that civilization, which, as I say, emerged purely as a result of the laws of physics and a few hydrogen atoms, then I think, to me anyway, it makes me feel incredibly valuable. So that's the LHC. The LHC is certainly, when it turns on in summer, going to write the next chapter of that book. And I'm certainly looking forward with immense excitement to it being turned on. Thanks.